Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing another renovation, as I call it, where I just halved the price of this build. As you can see, it was 259,280 simoleons. So I wanted to make it cheaper, and I did that with just deleting a bunch of stuff, as you can see, or replacing it with other items that are similar. And yeah, I managed to make it worth more than half the price, or less than half the price. I'm not sure how I would say it, but in the end it cost 100,000 to 28 556 simoleons. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just deleting stuff. I was really happy that I had put a bunch of bushes there because they were easily deleted and replaced with like one of the long bushes. Um, Other items were a little bit more difficult to replace or delete because they were a bit more integral to the whole build. So yeah, sometimes it's really easy to make it cheaper, but sometimes it's really not. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just jumping around from one place to the next and deleting things when I think, okay, that isn't really necessary, or I could use something else there, and make something bigger and take up more space. And sometimes I already know that, for example, the painting in the master bedroom is really expensive, so I knew that if I replaced that, it would be way cheaper. And the same can be said with a lot of the appliances and bathroom stuff and electronics, because I know how expensive they are, approximately at least, because I know like the order in which they are in the build and buy catalog. So sometimes I can just say, okay, I know that this particular item is way like cheaper if I use that, so I just delete the item that I already have and use the cheaper item for the build. And I know I call it a renovation, but honestly it's not really a renovation, because usually it gets more expensive if you renovate, because you use a certain amount of money to make it better. But I don't really know how I could call it anything else, because yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just making it cheaper so people can download it earlier in their gameplay. And yeah, that is essentially the goal, but also the challenge for myself to make it cheaper, because oftentimes I just use a lot of clutter and I don't put any boundaries on myself when I build stuff. And so sometimes it's really fun to just say, okay, I need to have this house and make it like half the price. I really enjoy doing it, and I think it also makes you appreciate the items more that we have. So yeah, I like doing it, and I've done a bunch of those renovation, if you can call it that, and made builds cheaper. I even managed to make some of them starter homes with that. Of course, I wouldn't be able to make this particular house a starter home, it's way too large for that. But some of the other ones that are already a little bit cheaper, I could make into starter homes. And as you can see now, I'm doing the carpet in the dining room, and it's a really large dining room, so it was a little bit difficult to make it cheaper. But I replaced some other carpets in the other rooms as well, and I treated a little bit with sizing up the carpets and making it easier to use the smaller carpets, the less expensive ones, because if you just size them up, they look a lot larger than they are. And yeah, I think it's a little bit cheaty to do it like that, but it really helps. Another thing that is really like helpful in such challenges, and also if you just do a starter home, is to use terrain painting outside instead of any kind of pavement or something, So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just replacing the tile or stone that I had outside with terrain painting. So it's a lot cheaper because terrain painting doesn't cost anything. I also replaced the fence because it was a little bit more expensive than it had to be. And I also deleted the fence that is under the stairs. So if you have placed stairs where there's already fence, or you just place the fence on the whole area without drawing it just for the part that you need, it places the fence on the part where the stairs are. So that costs money, of course, because the fence is there, but you don't actually see it. So I drew the part again, but deleted it with the control key. So yeah, I get money from it, but it doesn't look any different. So yeah, I remembered that trick and used it. And I also exchanged a tree in the front. It was one of the rose or pink trees, and I knew that that was one of the more expensive trees, so I just deleted it with a cheaper tree. And I even used the size up sheet again, and I had like a large tree, even though in the catalog it's a smaller one. So yeah, I did that. I also replaced the mirrors and some other bathroom stuff to fill up that space again. And as you can see, I also rearranged some furniture in the living room and so on. So yeah, that's just what I've been doing. And I just replace whatever I think, okay, that isn't really necessary, or that could come cheaper. I even changed the wallpaper, even though I didn't really like to do it because I really liked the color scheme that I had going on. I really liked that those white vertical paneling, and I really liked the stone that I used, and I also really like the green wallpaper that I had downstairs. But those are all more on the expensive side. Not really expensive, but the stone I think costs 5 simoleons, and the paneling and the wallpaper 4 and 5 again, I think. I'm not sure, but they are all a little bit more expensive than the really cheap ones. So we have wallpaper, like plain wallpaper with just the color, that is only 2 simoleons, so it is way cheaper, especially if you look at the size of the rooms that I had. So yeah, some of the walls I did replace, or not the walls, I replaced the wallpaper. But of course that meant that there wasn't the same color scheme anymore in a lot of the rooms, or not exactly the same. So I was a bit sad about that. In the bedrooms, I did that more easily. I also exchanged the bed in the master bedroom and the dresser in one of the kids' room, because I used multiple dresses in the kids' room to fill that space a little bit, and I didn't need to do that, so I just replaced it with one dresser and a larger one, arguably, but that one is cheaper, so yeah, I was happy that I could do that. I also exchanged the curtains because they are already more expensive than the ones that I use now, but also I needed to use several of them so I could actually cover the windows. So with the ones that I used, the long ones, I didn't even need to use as many of them, so that also was a good thing. And then I was finished. Now you can see some screenshots of the build. I hope you like it. You can download it from the gallery. My ID is TGGSims, same as my YouTube channel name. I also hope that you liked the video and will consider pressing the thumbs up button and subscribing. Thanks very much for watching and have a great week. Bye!